Hello and welcome to D&D with High School Students presents The Vixens. We have another part of the backstory to reveal to you. And this is how some of the Vixens met some of the other Vixens. On my left is Melissa, who is playing the human monk. And Melissa, you remember in your backstory how you met Sorshe, and then you guys literally fought for your freedom from the gladiatorial pits, and defeated many enemies, and then won the praise and love of the crowds, and then it was highly suggested that you leave the town.
Yes.
And remember that the man who was like the master of ceremonies, who was like kind of seemed to be in charge of this pit, was like fancily dressed and stuff, and he like told you to get out of town because it would be dangerous for you, and so you did.
And Sorshe was like, I will if you give me money.
Yeah, and he was like, no, and then she spit multiple times. I don't know what the deal was with that, but so then you guys went west. Meanwhile, across the table to my other side is Abby playing Tetra and Beth playing Matra. And you guys, along with Sina, had met in an encounter where you had to also flee. But you were fleeing from the city because people were chasing after Sina. And so you fled together as friends. Heading out from the city, heading to another town, and on the way to that town, Sina tells you that she has to go to a nearby village near the road to send a message to her family through courier, and that she would meet you at the town up ahead. And so you two are on the road by yourselves. And as you are traveling along the road, it becomes nightfall. Whoa, you are camping with Sorshe. Sorshe is hungry. Sorshe decides that she is going to go hunting and that she will return momentarily. And that is when it strikes. You hear the rumble of branches breaking. You hear a groan. Something big is headed your way through the woods. You are a human. You cannot see in the dark. There is a fire, and there is a torch that you could use.
It says I got dark vision.
Oh, that's right.
I think we've forgotten about that.
Because you're a ninja monk.
Yeah.
Do you want to activate your dark vision with your chi?
Yes.
Your chi?
Yes.
Chi? All right, so you do, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And you see a giant. I'm not joking, a literal hill giant coming towards you. He seems to be drawn to the fire, and he's coming towards you, and he's like, he's just smashing things with like a smaller tree.
Yes.
Do you stick around and fight, or do you run?
I'm going to stick around and fight.
Oh. Meta moment. When the player makes a bad choice, and you want to give them their freedom, and you've tried to tell them that they're going to die, and they should run, but they don't. Unmeta moment. Roll initiative.
Okay.
It's slow.
This big book.
Yep. You have a 14, plus 9 is a 23. This thing is coming right into the field, and it next round will attack you. Still want to fight?
No, I'm running.
Okay. You run. What's your movement speed? 45. You run much faster than a hill giant, and you take off into the dark. You can still see, of course, because your dark vision's working. You're weaving and dodging between the trees. You hear the lumbering giant trying to keep up with you, but you're just way faster than it. Not double fast, but almost double faster than it. But you're tearing ass through the woods. No idea where Sorshe is. You guys are in your camp. Roll perception.
4. 15.
Guess what you hear, Tetra? You hear the sound of crushing branches and a roar.
Oh.
Seems to be about 100 yards away. Do you look in that direction
Yes.
with your dark vision?
Yes.
You see for 60 feet. And in that 60 feet, you see a small human woman running faster than you could possibly imagine any human running. And she's tearing ass through the woods towards you guys. She doesn't have any armor, no weapons. She's just running, like looking back and then running. And you hear from behind her. Now you hear.
Now I hear.
You're sitting around your cozy little campfire.
You said that the giant was attracted to the fire.
I said that to her. You don't know that. He's actually attracted to your flesh because you're yummy. And he wants to eat you.
I know I'm yummy.
Buddy, I think we should make a run for it.
Yeah.
Let's go with that small person.
You guys get up from your fire. You see these two people. One is clearly an elf, a wood elf, and the other is a tiefling. The tiefling is in full armor, has like weapons. The elf is in kind of like robes and a cloak and a hood and clothes, and has like a bow slung over her shoulder and like a wooden walking stick. And they see you, and you're like, what? And they're like, what? And everybody looks at each other, and you kind of pause.
Like, run.
And yeah.
Run away.
You hear
Run
the
away.
giant coming towards you.
Run away. Run away.
So you guys run? You guys run?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're running. All of you guys run. You run for 10 minutes until you don't hear the giant after you anymore. And you get to like a clearing in the woods. And there's enough moonlight where you could kind of see each other now, and you don't hear the giant coming after you. But here you are looking at each other. Carry on.
What's your name, little human person?
Whoa. I just found that big old monster running after me and I got scared. What's your name?
My name's Tetra. You're short, aren't you?
I'm Mantra. Who's your friend?
And as you guys are sitting around getting to know each other after running away from the hill giant, you see a half-orc woman run up into the clearing from the woods, and she's like out of breath, and there's like twigs in her hair, and she's like, what was that? Sorshe, you were out hunting for your camp with Woe, and that's when you saw a hill giant out of nowhere in the woods just start coming after you guys. She took off, and you got back to the camp, and you were like, what's going on? And the hill giant chased you. And then you ran, and now you've all gathered. And so you were in front of these two people who you've never met before. There's a tiefling woman in armor and a wood elf who's wearing a bow and has a wooden walking stick. But you don't hear, you feel like you've outrun the hill giant.
I say, I just outran a hill giant. What are you guys doing here?
Well, we just did the same thing. What a coincidence. Wow.
I'm so tired.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
guys.
feel like,
You should make camp together.
y'all want to make camp? Where are you guys going?
We just had to leave town because this man made us fight for our lives. And we got really scared, and he told us to leave town because it was the safest thing to do, and everybody was going to be mad at us. They were going to try to kill us, so we just left town.
Yeah, because we took their money. My fault.
You got it.
Powerful.
So, camp?
Yeah, we'll set up camp.
Guys set up a camp. Build a
Slumber
fire.
Party.
Yep.
You got marshmallows.
You notice that the half-orc is very adept at like camp. Like quickly she has like a fire set up, and she pulls out like a satchel of like berries and things that she like collected while she was out, and a couple like dead rabbits that she just like guts and skins and puts on a stick and starts roasting. And within like 20 or 30 minutes, you guys have like a decent fire going and some food. So you're like hanging out there. Everybody make a perception check.
Someone want to pass me some dice?
18.
Nat 20.
You see someone walking towards your camp from the woods. It is a humanoid-sized person, not a giant. And they don't seem to be running or sneaking, just calmly walking towards you.
Got a 21.
Same thing.
We see a giant. What do we see?
Yeah, no, I don't see anything.
You're busy cooking rabbits. All right, so what do you do? As the person gets closer, you could see that this appears to be a human wearing some kind of like traveling cloak, like a black traveling cloak with the hood pulled down so you can't quite see the face, and the robe like covers their whole body, but they're like slowly walking towards you guys.
I pick up a big stick.
Can we just like,
Who goes there?
can we just like prepare, but like
Yeah.
cautiously?
What do you prepare? Your stick of shillelagh or
Yes.
your longbow of shooting pain?
Shillelagh.
I put my hand on my side to feel for my sword, but I don't pull it out.
Okay. Hall 2 goes there. Indeed, who does go there? You hear the voice of a man as he pulls this hood back, and he has like beautiful curly black hair. It's like cascading, kind of like medium length, and like a clean shaven face. And you notice he has like multiple gold necklaces with like gems he's got like, you notice when he pulls the hood back, each one of his fingers had like different rings, like ruby, sapphire, aquamarine, just every stone that you could imagine on multiple rings on each finger. And like as he pulls the hood back, it reveals a little bit of the clothing that he's wearing under the cloak, and it's like a very bright, like vibrant cyan silk kind of shirt. And he's like, well met, travelers, well met indeed. How fortuitous for me to run into four hardy travelers such as yourselves. I seem to have lost my way in the woods in the evening. I saw your fire and was wondering if I could perhaps impose and acquire some of your hospitality.
Can I do a perception check to see if he's trying to flirt? Getting bad vibes. 16.
It would be an insight check. Anybody can roll it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, what's he up to?
I have a 25.
23.
You don't get a flirty sense from him.
He's just
You get a sense that maybe if you were a boy, he might be flirting with you.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Hey, what's up?
This man gay.
He's like, may I sit down with you at your warm fire?
Yes.
You know what? You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, thank you. He gently lifts up his cloak and sits down on a log near you. He's like, so what brings four such travelers this deep into the wilds?
Well, we were just talking about that. Well, first, we were all in certain circumstances that we had to leave the towns that we were in, and then there was a giant.
A giant?
A giant.
This far into the Midlands?
Yes,
How
sir.
odd.
I know, global warming.
It's very, very odd, don't you think? I'm not myself the fighting type. I am a nobleman, but I am not familiar with giants. You say, what kind of giant? Was it a fire giant, stone giant?
Hill giant.
A hill giant? Very odd. No hills around here.
There
He
was
looks at
one.
you and he's like, what say you, my elf lady? Have you any lore that would offer any explanation for why there would be a hill giant this far into the Midlands? Doesn't seem like their kind of domain. You can make a check.
Okay.
As a nature-oriented person, you
10.
yeah. Well, you're at least aware of the fact that like it is like what he's saying is true.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
very
strange.
likely. Like it's not like a shark being in Chicago, but like it's just not very common that you would see a hill giant in this region.
Should we try and kill it?
As a ranger, you can also make a check.
Okay.
You
What am I adding to that?
nature or survival. I'll let you pick.
11.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to jive with you either. Doesn't make any sense that a hill giant would be this far away from kind of its natural domain.
Should we try and kill it
He goes, well,
or interrogate
is
it?
it still
Yeah,
still
we don't-
nearby? Are we in danger?
we
We've
haven't-
just been trying to run away from it.
We
We
haven't
don't.
heard anything recently.
Yeah, we should be safe here, but
Well, we can go and find it. To go
I am
interrogate
not
it.
one to seek trouble, friends. If you feel that you've outran it, and I feel that I could trust you in your hospitality, perhaps it would be safer to stay here by the warmth of the fire and enjoy this bottle of wine. And he pulls a bottle of wine from his cloak. He's like, it is not the finest vintage that I own. It is what I would call road wine, but it is, of course, still a fantastic dry red.
well, thank
He
you
sets it
so
down.
much.
He's like, excuse me.
My orc mouth has like 3 tasty buds.
He like wiggles
Taste
the
buds.
cork out. And he's like, unfortunately, I don't have any glasses. Would you have any mugs? A mess kit, perhaps. So Sorshe, you do have, among your supplies, you do have a kit. So you have like 2 mugs. So he's like, I suppose we'll just have to share. He pours out some wine. He raises a toast with one of the mugs. Ladies and the gentlemen. And he drinks. He
Okay.
passes. So he takes a drink, he passes it around. You have the other mug. You guys are sitting there. Your rabbit is done. You guys have some nice fresh meat. Not a lot, but something. Some berries that you gathered while you were out foraging. So the gentleman's there, he seems content, and he's like, so where are you traveling to? Perchance to any of the local towns?
Probably not.
I myself am on a pilgrimage to Kadimki-Kala. It's quite a nice place.
Kadimki-Kala.
Yes, yes. There's a great, vast library and quite a, of course, well-known monastery. The monastery of Kadimki-Kala is probably one of the finest in the region.
Yeah.
Yes, my family is looking to expand our financial holdings, and we are looking to make some partnerships in some of the mining operations near Kadimki-Kala.
Do you want us to go with you?
What do you say?
I would love your company. As I have mentioned, I am unarmed, and he actually like opens his robe, and you see now his like outfit is ridiculous, crazy rich, like silk everything, like a gold sash. But the one thing that's odd is that all of like the colors don't match. Like they just clash.
Are you colorblind, sir?
He's like, that is the first time anyone has ever guessed correctly about that. You are truly remarkable, my lady Tiefling. What is your name?
Mantra.
Mantra. It is my honor.
You're so proud.
I am colorblind, yes. Unfortunately, I was imposed upon. My caravan was attacked at night by a group of bandits. Nay,
Was one of
they
them
may
a,
have been mercenaries, for they were on horses and in full armor.
Oh.
Not common thugs, mind you. My 2 men-at-arms did their best to defend our wagon, and my steward, unfortunately, I told myself I wouldn't cry.
Sorry, does that bring up a tender topic?
My steward was so faithful and loyal. He fought those thugs away to give me an opportunity to escape. I was not able to have my coordinated outfit, which he always picked out my clothing for me, knowing my inequities of visual acuity in the realm of color.
Wait a second. You ran away, and the only thing you brought with you was a bottle of wine?
Well, as I have
The travel wine?
as I had mentioned, I had to throw on clothes quickly. He wasn't able
The
to
bottle was already in the
dress me
clothes?
appropriately, so I grabbed everything that was in my
Pretty cool.
case and I fled as quickly as I could.
I'm sorry about your boyfriend.
Thank you. You are very kind, my elf lady. What is your name? Friend of Mantra.
Tetra.
Tetra. Well met.
Sorry about your.
As I had mentioned, I have merely the clothes and approximately 6,000 gold worth of jewelry and gems that I'm wearing. But I assure you, ladies, that if you would be so kind as to escort me safely to Kadimki-Kala, that I will richly reward you. My family has holdings there, and I also have meetings with some of the local mining guild members. And
Yeah.
I have great certainty that they will agree to my family's proposal, and we will make a true partnership.
Yep, sounds
so
good.
if you could escort me there, I would be in your debt.
Yeah,
We
we're not
would
doing
love
anything.
to.
Mhm.
We would love.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Then I shall sleep, and in the morrow we will travel. And I will sleep safely knowing that you strong ladies will be taking care of me. So he lays down, curls up into a little cozy nest with his black cloak, and kind of starts to...
Okay, and then I bring the girls aside and I start whispering, and I'm like,
You are so paranoid.
His-
I've just met you, but I think you are so paranoid.
no, his chatter irritates me, so I think we should just do this quick.
That
We
that
should-
was the plan.
I feel like the half-orc subtext might be insinuating that you guys should just,
No, why?
No.
I'm not killing no gay man.
I don't think
In the woods.
I don't think that
You
we
don't know
should.
that for a fact. It was just, remember, You're inside.
I'm not killing
like,
a colorblind man.
Yes. There you go.
I don't care if we kill him or not. I just think that he's annoying, and that the less he talks, the better for all of us.
You want to cut out his tongue?
You know what? That's not the worst idea you've had.
I say we just if we're
escort
really
him.
trying to be mean, take the rings off his fingers and bounce.
Yeah, the
See,
aquamarine
I don't want to
one would be
rob
cool.
him. Like, I don't got no beef with him. He's just annoying.
Great, so I think we should
What if he's a
escort
light
him.
sleeper? How far away is Kidingkikla?
It's like another 2 days, basically. If you had horses,
2
it'd be like
days.
it'd be a lot faster. But walking, you're looking at 2 days.
Okay, here's the plan, Stan. We bring him somewhere with his horses, and then we force him to trade his rings for horses. And then we get there quicker.
Let's find a place with horses.
You know what? I'm feeling generous.
I don't think he's that bad.
For your colorblind guess, Beth, you get a point of inspiration. You may write down 1 point of inspiration. And for your clutch idea to bring him to a place where you can sell his jewelry to acquire horses and expedite the trip, Reagan, you also get a point of inspiration. Now, the morning comes, nothing eventful happened overnight. You were not attacked by a giant. You wake up, you hit the road, you begin walking. You guys make your way across country. You guys, having never met them before, notice, especially you were impressed by this because you have survival. You notice that the Half-Orc is like a pro with finding like the shortcuts. Like she'll be like, come, follow me on this deer path. And then you cut through a deer path, and then you find like another little path, and you're like making great time through the forest. And before too long, you hit one of the main east-west trade roads, and you huff it, and you get to a small village. And in that small village, there are a few buildings, you know, a couple shops, and there's a stables. There's a farm, and there's a farmer.
So then I'm like, look here. We should trade like 2 of your rings for some horses.
I absolutely agree. What a fantastic idea. Let us make haste. Brilliant. Never let the stereotypes be believed. Half-orcs are not all idiots, I tell you. I have encountered many half-orcs that are smart and actually rather cunning.
That's
Well done.
great for you, mate.
Come, Lady Elf, let us go acquire some horses. So you guys walk over to the stables. There's like a man who looks like he's busy doing stuff. He like looks up at you and he looks up at all you guys and kind of like, what do y'all want?
Hey, yo,
Pizza.
can we get some horses for some of these hereby fine rings?
Y'all want 5 horses?
Come on.
One.
I don't know why he just became Southern in my game.
We can do 3.
Yeah.
We'll do a good 3 horses.
1, 2, 3. And then where's the gentleman gonna
I'll
go?
ride with the gay guy. Let's go, guy.
He'll ride in the back. Hold on to you and your big armor.
On the top.
Okay.
I want
So the farmer looks in his stables and he's like, well, I don't have a lot of horses. That one over there is my best stud, so it's going to cost you. And the gentleman's like, good sir. And he pulls off like 3 rings. He goes, these 3 rings are worth more than your entire village, I assure you. Please. And he hands them over. The farmer's like, yeah, they look real, all right. Let me go check with old Maynard, though. Maynard! He calls some old guy over. The old guy comes over and he's showing him the rings, and the guy's like, he's like, all right, deal. Y'all got your 4 horses. So he saddles them up, puts some blankets on there.
Yeah, we said 3.
Works fine.
Yeah.
You guys get 4 horses. The gentleman is like, thank you, good sir, and may your town find prosperity. Remember that I will always be and shall be in the future your gentleman. I am in your debt. Thank you. Come, Lady Mantra, I shall ride knowing that you are a secure rider. I am certain of your ability to handle a mount of this magnitude. That stallion seems like a fine mount indeed. So each one of you guys gets on your horses, he hops on your horse, and you take off. And now you're riding, day and night riding. Actually, it's not that bad of a pace. And soon you arrive at Kadimki Kala. You get to Kadimki Kala, he invites you to his family's manor, which is bigger than any building other than a monastery and the library. It's a huge mansion.
I turn around and say, what do you call yourself again?
I am the gentleman, my lady. Come. I will have baths prepared for you. You must certainly be road weary. And we will have a feast in my manor tonight. And that is where we'll end this episode of the backstory, origin stories of the Vixens. Stay tuned for more, people. It's on like Tron.